Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe here with, this is World of Warcraft, of course, and definitely something I'm sure that most of you didn't think I actually played. But there's a lot of games that I play that I think most of my viewers aren't really aware of. This is some footage from a 7-hour live stream that I had a few days ago. I actually didn't mean for it to be 7 hours long, but let's face it, was just playing WoW, and you know how that goes. I was playing on my hunter a little bit, and then I jumped back on my main character, which is, of course, this Fury Warrior. This is some footage from a looking for group dungeon run. This is, of course, Upper Blackrock Spire, the new version of it, and maybe the second time I had played this version. So, if you see me not knowing what I'm doing, then just know that it has absolutely nothing to do with the excuse that I just gave you, and that it's just me not knowing what I'm doing, as per usual. But, yeah, I actually play quite a few games that I probably don't share on the channel, and I really wasn't sure if I'd share any of this on my channel, but I know that there are a lot of you out there that watch my videos for me and not really for the game, and I always appreciate those viewers the most, to be honest. They've been with me since the very beginning, even before DayZ times, you know, when I was just a small little YouTube channel. I still am actually a small YouTube channel in comparison to the others that are out there, but you know, it's just nice when people will watch for the commentary or the discussion or the humor or whatever type of entertainment I provide that you deem worthy of your attention. But yeah, I actually really love the Warcraft franchise. I've been playing Warcraft since the very first strategy game. So 1 through 3, and then of course we go into WoW. I've been playing since Vanilla, off and on. I took some breaks. I didn't really play too much of Cataclysm or Pandaria. I own all of the collector's editions from Vanilla and to Warlords of Draenor, and I'm really into a lot of the lore. I know a lot of the history of Warcraft, and I just am a big Warcraft nerd in general. As I am with other things. I don't know if I'm as big of a Warcraft nerd as I am a Star Wars nerd, but I think I can go ahead and make room in my heart for both. But anyways, back to the game. I am Alliance. I know that seems to bother quite a few people, the old Horde versus Alliance debate, but for me, it is more of a lore thing. Now, when I play MMOs, I like to get into them. You know, I like to look at the history. I like to, you know, think about where my character comes from, what his story is. You know, I don't really role play. I have been on a role play server in the past, but more so for the atmosphere. I'm not really an RP guy online at all. I don't get into that. But I like seeing maybe other people around me, you know, doing that. It just makes you feel like you're more immersed. But with the Alliance, for me, again, coming from the strategy games, it was, you know, back then, orcs versus humans, and there wasn't really much of a storyline. It was the 90s, let's face it. It was just some basic RTS that Blizzard came up with, and they're like, well, I don't know, these orcs attack these humans or whatever, you know, and a lot of their inspirations came from the Warhammer tabletop games and Tolkien, and so they replicated a lot of that. And I believe there's even a rumor that states that Blizzard originally wanted to try to acquire the license for Warhammer Fantasy and do a video game for that franchise. But I don't think that they could acquire it, so they went ahead and made their own thing, which became Warcraft. I don't know if that's true. That's something that I've heard a long time ago, but it seems plausible. But anyways, for me, it was, you know, fighting for Lordaeron and then Stormwind, and, you know, defending Azeroth against the evil orc invasion. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I came up through the ranks with the Alliance, and so it sticks with me. It's not like, well, these guys are prettier or whatever. It's not anything like that. It literally is just story and siding with a faction that you believe in, you know. So maybe I go into those things a little too much, but that's how I like to play my games. Again, I always talk about immersion when I'm critiquing games, and it is important to me. And I think the thing that really made me fall in love with World of Warcraft was being able to see all of the worlds that I fought in, or the world that I fought in, Azeroth. You know, seeing the continents that I waged war in the very first strategy games, even though the terrain had kind of changed. Some of the things with the maps they had altered over the years to kind of coincide with the ever-changing storyline. But, you know, it's just being able to see all those things in true 3D. You know, Warcraft 3 never really did it justice, but just going through, you know, mountainsides and all the grasslands and everything, and just looking in an amazement of all this stuff recreated, and saying, I fought here, there was a battle here, you know, Terran Mill, I remember, you know, all this stuff. I don't know, it was just, I think the thing that made me keep coming back for more, and even though there were those days, and still probably will be those days where I'd say, you know what, damn you Blizzard, screw you, you did this, you messed this up, or you don't do this right, and you want to hate them for some reason or another, but you just can't. And at the end of the day, even if you're not playing the game, even if you're giving it up for a month or two or a year or forever, at the end of the day, you can look back and say, you know what? I had a good time. I still love that damn game. It was great. It's got a charm to it. Maybe they do a lot of things wrong, but they do so much more right, you know? It's just the ambience, the music, the sounds, the comedy, you know? Blizzard has a fantastic sense of humor. A lot of things in this game don't really make sense, you know. It's just kind of this weird fantasy world that has some steampunk elements in it, if you will, and some weird technology and gadgets and whatever. But it's just what makes it Warcraft, I guess. And even me, who is a stickler for realism, I can throw that aside and say, you know what, this is just a completely different kind of fun. And, you know, as you're seeing here, this is just me with a pickup group, looking for group dungeon, whatever you want to call it. Just having fun, casual fun, you know. I don't have any mods up right now. I'm not really big into using mods. I don't like having a clunky UI, even though my inventory is a mess. Don't look at it. Gotta hire a maid. It's just one of those things where when I play it, I like to just kind of kick back and relax. This is my relaxing game, you know? Whereas I enjoy a game like War Thunder or a tactical shooter as much as the next guy, but those games, you take them a little bit more you get into serious mode, competitive mode, really, when you play those games. And so they are inherently a little bit more stressful. You come into here, and it's not supposed to be. At least I try to not get stressed out playing this game. It can happen, of course, but generally it's a good time. And I think that's why the live stream went on for 7 hours. And the archive is still there if you want to go on Twitch and watch it. It ended up being a really good time. I mean, I think we only had about 100 people around or so. You know, which isn't much for a usual live stream, but it was just one of those things where I think the people that were there just had a lot of fun, because it was one of those kind of kick back, hang out, relax, chit chat live streams. And funny enough, it was actually one of my favorite live streams in a very long time. I think it was just more casual, and I think we take casual gaming for granted. And I'm not talking about playing some browser-based game casual. I'm talking about just kind of, you know, kick your feet up, chill, get yourself, you know, a nice drink, whatever, a snack, and just have fun, you know, just not stress out, not have to complain too much. I know everybody loves a SideStrafe rant, but you'll always see that in any game, even this one. But I think being able to have something like this once in a while, I think it's good for you as a gamer. It's good to find yourself a relaxing game. So if you're a gamer, you're watching this, you don't play a lot of games, you know, maybe you have your main game, World of Tanks, War Thunder, whatever it is. Get yourself something that you're not going to stress out over. Get yourself something that will relax you, you know. I think that's good for you. I think that's healthy. To me, I think WoW does it. Star Wars: The Old Republic does it. Playing a little bit of Terra Rising as well. Too many MMOs, guys. Too many MMOs. Don't do what I do. It's bad for you. Especially if you have, like, another job or school and stuff like that. It's rough. It's, for some reason, every MMO on the planet is releasing an expansion. Star Wars is coming out in December. The Old Republic is new expansion. Terra Rising has one in December, I think. Oh my goodness. Draenor still has me hooked because I've got 2 alts. I've got a Paladin that I'm still leveling up. I've got a Hunter as well. Actually really loving the Hunter again, even though it's changed so much since even Lich King. But the whole game has changed, really. But gosh, it's good. It's really good. Pandaria was... The environment was pretty, but I couldn't get into the storyline. I don't think it was very popular. I just don't think it did well because it was a bit on the silly or far-fetched side. I don't know. I just think that people couldn't get into the Pandarians. You know, they were always kind of like this rare race in Warcraft. You know, it's like, Warcraft 3. You know, it's just this rare, like, okay, haha, Pandaren Brewmaster, whatever. But I think that it was a bit too much, I think, to create an entire expansion around them. I don't know. I know it wasn't a favorite, but this one is... It's good. It's in fact, it's really good. Leveling from 90 to 100 was actually very pleasant. There's a couple of quests that are like, okay, you're wasting my time. But honestly, the leveling process, a couple of days. I hate leveling. I hate it, which is why I've boosted characters. I freaking hate leveling so much. Mostly because MMOs make the leveling process horrible. But in this game, it was very, very simple. Even I have another friend who's just the same. Hates leveling more than I do. He hates making alts. He has one character. Can't stand leveling. He was addicted. You know, it was boom, 90 to 100, no problem for him. Yeah, not at all. You know, works a normal job, came home, play, whatever. Good to go. So if you're worried about leveling in this game, don't. It's fine. Actually, I'm warning you. You probably don't want to play this game. Just don't, because you might be addicted. If you've ever loved WoW, don't come back. I'm warning you. I told Bombadil, I said, like, look, dude, I'm not telling you to play it because it's that good. I'm warning you. I'm trying to save your soul right now because you will probably be addicted. And the garrison features, oh, that's just too much fun. I really wish there would be a iPad app or a mobile app. That's how good it is. But I think the only thing is that the story for what happens, how this happened with Draenor, it might be a little far-fetched. Probably could have been prevented. But while it's good, it is very much orc fan service. And I do believe, and I've thought this before Draenor, that Blizzard's a bit Horde biased in that I think a lot of their developers just love the Horde. If you look at a lot of the art design for WoW over the years before Draenor, look at the armor and the weapons, very brutal orc kind of barbaric weaponry, like stone axes and armor, just like spikes on shoulders and all kinds of craziness and stuff like that. Like, you see more of that than anything else. You see a lot of that in comparison to kind of royal or regal man-made armor, you know, stuff that like a paladin would wear. In fact, really the only class that you see with the armor that I'm describing is typically the paladin. Here you can see on my warrior, I'm using a set from Lich King to kind of have a Stormwind look, although right now I'm using an Ironforge tabard to get some reputation with them. But I always try to go with the blue and gold. You can see that I've got some very simple two-handed swords on my warrior, because really it's hard to find nice-looking, kind of man-made, alliance-looking weaponry. And so if you look at a lot of the PvP armor, all that stuff, it's always brutal gladiator this, and, you know, barbaric of the mighty stone-faced monkey smasher. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think Blizzard is really biased towards that kind of, that orcish look and feel, and I feel like Draenor is so down that path, you know, that it's like, yeah, come on, what about us that want to actually look like we're members of the Alliance? You know, there's a couple of sets that they've thrown in, but it's very hard to look like, you know, a knight of Stormwind without really trying. But I'm hoping that whatever they come out with in the future, you know, plays favor to, don't look at my inventory, it's horrible, plays favor to, you know, some of the things that I'm talking about, because I really do love, you know, being a member of the Alliance and fighting for Stormwind and whatnot. I love the new Stormwind tabard that they added, though. It's very high resolution. And, you know, visually speaking, though, the expansion's gorgeous. It just looks great in regards to texture work. The models, obviously the player models are much improved. Animations are hit or miss. Like humans, orcs, Draenei, I think have pretty good running animations and stuff, but everybody else, for some reason, their animation is, they're just not so good. My Night Elf, I had a Night Elf Hunter. I say had because I actually race changed recently, because the running animation for the Night Elf was so bad that I couldn't look at it anymore. It was just too bouncy and cartoony, and there was no weight to it, and it was just very like floaty and Pandaren almost. It's almost like they took the Pandaren run animation and put it on a Night Elf, and I didn't feel like a badass anymore. I felt kind of like, I don't know, a Disney character or something. So it's just, I couldn't look at it. It just felt like it was so twitchy, and it almost felt like it was missing frames of animation. It was almost disorienting to watch. So I was like, I don't want to do this, but I got a race change. So I did, and it's like, oh, okay, this is better. I'm kind of sad that I had to do that, because that guy's been a Night Elf since vanilla, but I just can't look at this. So I don't know if they're going to fix it. There's like a 13-page forum post about it. Everybody's, you know, like, this is ridiculous, you know. So there's that. I know some other races and genders are having issues, like female Night Elves, not so great. Female humans, I heard the trolls are pretty bad. So, yeah, I don't know. But otherwise, like, the terrain, Shadow Moon Valley is gorgeous. The sounds, the soundtrack, the music is absolutely stunning. I swear, I mean, there's some moments, because there's a lot of cutscenes, where you almost get teary-eyed at the stuff that's happening, and then the music hits you like a brick. It's so heavy and just jaw-droppingly amazing. They outdid themselves in many respects. You know, the only thing I think they could have done to make it even better is if the entire 90 through 100 leveling process was just like a linear story. Because at the very beginning, when you go through the portal, they have you on this kind of quest chain that's very just story-centric and getting through and fighting, you know, off the Horde and trying to stop them from getting into Azeroth. And you're just going through this thing for the first, you know, half of your level. And it's great, you know, it makes you feel like you're really a part of something big. But then you get to the part where it starts to simmer down a little bit and get a little bit more typical. But then they always throw you back into the major parts of the story, which is great. So I kind of think it would have been even better if it was just pure story all the way through the leveling process, and then optionally maybe give you those other little things like dungeon runs and whatever that kind of just add to the experience. I mean, a lot of the dungeon stuff is related to the story, of course, but I think that leveling should be story arcs only, mostly. Like, you should always just be able to level through storylines, because I think a lot of that is just where the excitement is at, and it makes you really want to get into it and never stop. Leveling shouldn't be tedious or difficult or frustrating, and like I said, it's really good. It's some of the best leveling I've ever had to deal with in an MMO ever. So I'm glad that Blizzard is improving in that department. There's stuff that they can continue to work on. Obviously, aesthetics are getting better, but yeah, they could add more animations. You can see here a lot of these fighting animations are just the same things that we've seen since the early days, but just maybe smoothed out a little bit. But, you know, other than that, the gameplay, which is the most important thing, is really good. And if you've ever played this game and you've been thinking about it, you know, wondering if it's just hype, it's not. As much as there's a little part of me that kind of wants to be against it, I can't. It's good. It's really freaking good. And that's why I'm sharing it. I wouldn't share it if I didn't think it was good. How long I'll play it, though, I don't know. I'm always off and on with this game. It's just, I get bored of everything. I mean, you guys know that by now, if you're even still watching this video. I just get tired of games after a couple of months. You know, it really depends. That's why I think I play a lot of free-to-plays, because they're always adding new content, so it keeps it fresh, because that's how they have to make money. So as much as I hate free-to-play game tactics from developers, it's kind of what keeps me coming back. I'm not afraid to admit that. That's their tactic. That's what they're trying to do. That's why they do it. That's why we come back for content. That's why there were 8+ hour queues to get on to servers. You know, it's one of those things where people are coming back for this new content, and then they'll leave, and then they'll release another patch, and then they'll come back. And, you know, it's... You play World of Tanks or War Thunder, it's like, okay, I'm done, I'm bored. Oh, there's a new tank. Boop, I'm back in the game. It's just how it goes. And, you know, with this, we'll see. I'm having fun with all 3 of my characters. Potentially maybe do a 4th. I don't know. The nice thing about this is that you can play one character through the storyline and then do the others through another route. So if you want to level up via dungeons, you can. My hunter is at 95, I think, 94, 95, mostly through dungeons. I mean, he's doing the storyline. Like, I'll queue up, because if you're DPS, sometimes the queue is like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what time of day. And sometimes I play really late, so, you know, that means that I'm having a tough time getting through. But with that, you know, you beat the dungeon, and you just get a lot of XP, and you get a lot of loot, because the loot's personalized. You know, sometimes you go through and you get mostly gold, but at very least you're going to get one loot drop for you. And you know, that's what keeps you coming back for more, to know that you're going to get something. Because in the past, where it was always a gamble, like, gee, I wonder if I'm going to get something after playing for an hour, I hated that. So thankfully now it's like, yep, you're guaranteed something at least. Might be a duplicate, but at least you're going to get something. But, you know, beyond that, again, very casual experience for me. You're seeing this gameplay here. Maybe you're a advanced WoW player. You're saying, wow, this guy's rotation sucks. He's not using mods. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And I'll be like, bro, don't even care. Don't even care. Having fun. And I'm just not going to take this game seriously at all. Never have. Never will. It's just one of those things where this is my fun time. I may add some mods in the future. Who knows? But, you know, really this is just all about trying to figure out the best way to put a smile on my face. And I do go to Noxic and Icy Veins, and I try to read up what they have to say in regards to rotations and abilities, and try to copy what they've got. So, you know, we came all the way out here to play some Hearthstone. That's all I wanted to do. And she falls asleep. Like, Wake up, woman. It's your turn. I don't get these orcs. I don't think I'll ever understand them. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to bring this one to a close. As always, thank you all so very much for joining me. It's always appreciated, of course. And I'll see you on the next one.